love. It's not just a warm, fuzzy, emotional feeling. Love, it's not just something for Valentine's Day or even something to casually say on a day like today. Love you, Mom. Love is an action word. And it's not always an easy action. Now, sure, sometimes love is taking out the trash, which, while not my favorite chore, is actually not that hard. Sometimes love is as easy as whipping up a batch of pancakes for somebody, but again, it's not that hard. But Jesus is talking with his disciples, his friends, about love that's hard. And he puts it in the context of love for your friends. So we're not talking about romantic love. We're not talking about love for your family member or even for your child. We're talking about love for a friend, and that's kind of a broad term, meaning pretty much everybody. And it's a love so active that you're willing to lay down your life. Now, when Jesus talks about this love, he is talking about something way more than the warm, fuzzy, I'm going to take out the trash and make you pancakes kind of love. So much that we are commanded to do it. So think about it. We can't be commanded to feel a feeling. Right? We have no control over what people feel. But we can be commanded to an action. And this love that Jesus talks about is a feet on the ground, hands hard at work kind of love. And if we really listen, Jesus talks about laying down our life. Literally. So take Gomez Gonzalez. He is a butterfly advocate. And he was working to protect monarch butterflies in El Rosario Reserve, a winter home for the butterflies. But in January of 2020, he was found at the bottom of a holding pond in the area he was working. He was murdered because he was standing up against people who wanted to log the area, who wanted to destroy the habitat for the butterflies. He laid down his life for the butterflies. Now, admittedly, we are maybe not quite up for taking Jesus quite so seriously as Gonzalez. But there are many other things, many other ways that we can lay aside our own comfort and set about showing love. Love is going to a protest, demanding that Black Lives Matter. Love is shopping intentionally at stores and businesses owned by people of Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage. Love is voting for people who will ensure that our gay and lesbian siblings are protected. Love is taking a moment to use correct pronouns for someone instead of misgendering them. Love is taking a stand for equal pay regardless of gender. Now, these aren't usually lay down your life kinds of actions, but they are love enacted nonetheless. And friends, Jesus commands us to this kind of love. We are called to be obedient to this commandment that Jesus has given us. As I was thinking about this week, I did a little word research, and I learned that our English word obedience comes from Latin, which literally means to listen. I didn't know this, but it makes complete sense. When we strive to be obedient to this commandment, when we strive to love our friends, our neighbors, those around us, we must listen. Listen to them, and when we listen, action is required because we hear the cries of struggle around us. We hear the agony of oppression. We hear the pleas for help. Now, when I was in college, I was active in campus ministry, and my chaplain, John, told me something one day that I have never forgotten. He said that he never asks someone how they're doing if he doesn't really have time to listen to their answer. So, that casual walking down the sidewalk, how you doing? You don't have time to listen. You are expecting the answer, fine. Have a good day. But behind that fine is often sadness or grief or anger or frustration or any other kinds of emotions that is not fine. And you can see it in the eyes, in the sag of their shoulders, in their whole body. If we take time to listen. Now, when we love, when we truly action word love, we can't help but listen to the cries around us. Might be a cry from that person you've said, "How are you?" It might be the cry that you see in the news. We can't help but find ways to put our love into action when we listen. Now, assuredly, you can take steps to love that literally endanger your life. That is great. But it also doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to be solve global hunger big. It can be offer a bottle of water to the person at the stoplight little. But to that person who might be thirsty, that is big love. It doesn't have to be rid our entire country of all racism big. It can be challenging a person who has told a joke that stereotypes somebody. That is big love. Now, I don't know about you, but all of this sounds a bit exhausting. All the listening, all the loving, all the acting. It's a bit daunting. But did we hear Jesus? Jesus reminds us that while love is not easy, with it comes joy. Joy in knowing that we are putting our love into action. Joy comes in knowing that we are God's hands and feet in a world, working to spread love. Friends, we have been chosen for this, We have been chosen to love in small ways, in bigger ways, and when we love, we are hard at work. Each of us working in the ways that we can. And when we love, Jesus assures us that our joy will be complete. We can trust in that. We can cling to that when it feels hard. But we are commanded. We must be obedient to that commandment to love. Let's get to it. Amen.